what was I identifying for the World Bank and for robotics companies and for big manufacturing association conferences was a whole laundry list of the key trends. And your audience, everybody's going to be very familiar with these. The key thing is these trends were unfolding at a very fast pace. I mean, my tagline is the future belongs to those who are fast. So what were we talking about pre-COVID? Rapid acceleration of new methodologies in the plant, in the factory, the process. We were seeing the continued emergence of all kinds of methodologies, new ways of doing things, ways to challenge what we were doing in process. Obviously, additive in 3D. I had some really unique situations along the way. For example, there's a company based out of St. Louis, Amstead Rail, that they manufacture rail bogies, the undercarriage rail cars. And they're having to compete with, lower cost offshore Chinese suppliers. They know that cost reduction is critical to their future. So, we had a good leadership discussion. That was a lot of the events I do are senior leadership, CEO level events, talking about what's going on with 3D. What can we expect? Where is that trend going to take us in the future? How soon might it become real? A lot of us talking about IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things in the factory. I was with one organization and they brought in, 500 engineers to talk about what do we get? We get better visibility, better management of our manufacturing process. We get better insight into where things are going wrong. I mean, this is a trend that had major legs pre-COVID. One of the most exciting trends I think that was out there was rapid product prototyping and iterative design. It used to be we'd design a product, we'd bring it to market, we'd sell it. Well, what we've seen with the acceleration of methodology and all these trends is we can now design a product, we can test it, we can put it out to our customers, we can redesign it. The whole iterative design process was beginning to take over the world of manufacturing. And a lot of that was driven by crowdfunding, crowdsourcing. I mean, Kickstarter, things like this. I think edge thinking sort of became the incubator for a lot of very innovative product design, because what people were doing, smaller sized organizations could put an idea out there. They could get the reaction of folks. They could have this, again, iterative design process going back and forth. So I think we were seeing a lot of influence on product design and conceptual thinking of what could we manufacture as a result of what was occurring with crowdfunding. This led to a really unique situation, with the rapid emergence of a lot of new competitors. And I think one of the most fascinating impacts of this was, organizations that were embedding intelligence into their products were suddenly competing with mainstream manufacturers. So if you think of someone like Ecobee or the Nest thermostat, if you're a Lennox Furnaces and you're selling thermostats, you're Honeywell, you're selling thermostats. Whoa, we've got these new competitors who are challenging the very essence of the product we are selling. Skills issues. I mean, I spoke at so many manufacturing conferences where the big issue is skills. I was with a company called Genesis Systems. They're a robotics manufacturer in Davenport, Iowa. And they brought me in for a dinner talk. And it was actually on the factory floor. It was a really, really cool set. Talking to a few hundred manufacturing executives. And I put up this quote that, from a machinist who observed the typical machinist today, it's almost as if they need to be able to do trigonometry in their heads to deal with the complexity of the process. The skills issue is massive, and we know that. We've been talking about that for years. I don't think we've really fixed it. New material science. Just 5 years ago, I was with the annual PowderMet conference in Boston and talking about the rapid emergence of new materials. You think about automotive, the whole trend towards lightening of the vehicle, aluminum. I can never say that word correctly. The new materials which let us change what we manufacture or decrease the weight of what we manufacture. I mean, there's been a flood of new material science, the whole process to make devices intelligent, Internet of Things embedded in products. We change the very essence of the product once we embed connectivity. Obviously Amazon. How do we change our supply chain to deal with the fact that so much more of what we're doing is going direct to consumer, and we're witnessing new competitors. And, there was just a flood of stuff that we were talking about pre-pandemic in the world of manufacturing. And this is where associations and manufacturing companies and, look, organizations like the World Bank were asking me as a futurist, what do we need to do about this stuff? And what are these trends? And what are they going to mean? And how do we align those? And most important, how do we, turn them from being a threat into an opportunity?